Fighting against negative stereotypes has been a barrier for people with disabilities for centuries, but it all begins with attitude. The fact of the matter is, we're all unique in our own way. This isn't news to us. Stereotypes stem from misunderstandings and misinformation, especially regarding people with disabilities. But in today's society, it's important to stay educated. Let's take the next step and talk about some of the things we hear and how we can change them. There is nothing one person can do to help eliminate the barriers confronting people with disabilities. The fact of the matter is, everyone can contribute to change. Encourage participation of people with disabilities in their community with accessible meetings and events. Understand that children are curious about disabilities and people that have them. Start the conversation. Speak up when negative words are used in regards to disability. I know as an emerging media professional that it will be my job to educate my colleagues on ways to portray people with disabilities as people with the same abilities as non-disabled people. Disability means handicap. We hear this over and over again. People with disabilities are only handicapped when environmental or physical barriers, or even people's attitudes, interfere with or prevent them from taking part in certain tasks. The lives of people with disabilities are totally different than the lives of people without. People with disabilities go to work and school, get married, have families, grocery shop, pay taxes, vote, plan their futures, and dream like everyone else. We live in a society that's becoming more and more open and accepting of other minorities doing these things. It's about time we open our minds to these privileges and how people with disabilities need to be considered. People with disabilities always need help. Truth is, many people with disabilities are quite independent and capable of giving help when it's needed. We all need and appreciate support, so there should never be any shame attached to asking for or receiving help. And finally, a leading topic of discussion in our nation is mental illness. People with mental illnesses are dangerous or violent, but mental illness is not and has never been a predictor of violence. There are no more people with mental illnesses committing violent acts than in the general public. As surprising as it sounds, people who have mental illnesses are more likely to be a victim to violence than committing acts of violence. Just let that sink in for a moment. People with disabilities are not contagious. They don't need constant assistance. They have the same abilities as everyone else. Take some time, do the research, and help further the efforts of the Americans with Disabilities Act and contribute to the way our attitudes can make change.